Welcome back to Melamec Art. My name is Mikki, and today I'm kind of going through a idea of how I came to art and how it found me and how healing it is in my life. When I was really young, around, I don't know, 9, 10, 11 age, I had a friend who was from England who would come and ride horses, and I kind of worked at the barn, I guess, as a little barn girl at the time. And I think one time when she was spending some time with me, I think we were
You did
drawing,
math?
and she's like, "You should really, start drawing or whatever." And I was like, "No, it's just my older sister is the artist. I'm not the artist." And she's like, "You're kidding me? You're really good at it too." And I was like,
Okay.
"No." So my birthday rolled around, and she ended up giving me this really beautiful sketchbook. It was a hardcover, and it would open landscape style, and it was a good size. It was like 8 by 10, and I thought it was so special. I was so grateful. It brought me to tears. And I think she also gave me a little set of color pencils, and we're still friends to this day. She lives pretty close to me, and we've seen each other a few times because she came when she got married. She came back to the States. So, but the sketchbook really was a foundation for me when I was going through my puberty and teenage years, and how I was a pretty troubled child. I had lots of external things that weren't great happen to me, and it was hard to kind of process them all. So art was the thing that I used to process everything, to kind of get it out. And in the beginning of the sketchbook, I was just, trying to draw and just trying to figure out the horses and anatomy and different things I kind of just liked to draw. And when I flip through it now, you can see the development happen through the book, because I didn't really finish it until I was around 16. So this had come with me on a long journey, and when I was around 16, my mother had moved us to a different location, and I was in a completely different school, and lots of, I was constantly the new girl. So I was really quiet, very, very awkward, introvert from birth. I'm just hard to engage with people when you don't know anybody and you feel like everybody's judging you, and they really are, because you're a new person, and that's kind of a threat to their social system. So I just started drawing, and I got really into it, and was really, really trying to make every page count at the middle of the book. I was really making sure that everything I was drawing had purpose and kind of reflected what I was going through, and it was like a diary. So I guess later after that, I think when you're after 16, you sort of, for girls, they just sort of like immerse themselves in socialisms and, dating and stuff like that. And I kind of was concentrating on that. So I had dropped art for a while and kind of switched to poetry and writing stories. And I was trying to write this whole story, this whole like novel of some kind of romance sci-fi or whatever. And that was kind of my focus, was writing. And I had decided to move back to my birth state, the state where I was born, by myself by age 18. And very soon after, after meeting my first son's father, I was pregnant at a very early age, and kind of tried to go through that and be a young mom and try to marry someone who wasn't really prepared to marry, and I really failed at it. And again, art was there to help me through it. I was into polymer clay, and I made canes and beads, and was in a guild even. I was really serious about it. But it didn't really it didn't, allow me to express my inner turmoil, because I had, already gone through so much as a child. I had nothing to, get out, no way to get anything out. And so I was, again, frustrated with art and myself. And I think it took me until, off and on, I would dabble with art, but nothing serious until I think at least 10 years later, when I had divorced my first husband and I was marrying my second and having another child, and was able to take a breath and like think of what do I want. And that's when I found art again, and I really dove into it. I was into oil painting, and that was all I did. And I was like fighting for time to do that, and literally, because it was hard for that particular husband to allow me time by myself. So it was a tough, yeah, that relationship ended because of lots of things, but mostly because I wasn't able to be myself, and it was really toxic. So we parted ways, and now I live alone, and my son is with me. And I think when you play with oils around a child, it's not really safe. So I ended up switching to acrylics, and that led to watercolor, and it's been a really, really long journey so far. And so this painting kind of represents me and my two kids, on this long journey. And my kids are thriving, and it's great. And I'm just grateful that I have them, and I have art, and it just, I'm just glad that I was able to finish this piece, because I wasn't really sure I was going to be able to get through it with all that texture in there and everything, and the symbolism, of course. So I appreciate you listening, and thanks for joining me today, and we'll see you again soon. Take care.